Good morning, everyone. As we all know, public economics is one of the distinct branches under the discipline of economics. And public expenditure constitutes one of the significant concepts in the area of public finance, which primarily deals with the expenditure activities of a state. All the expenditure activities undertaken by state or government at different levels, that can be central government, state government, or local government, aiming for the welfare of its citizens, is termed as public expenditure. And we all know about the different classifications of public expenditure, canons or principles which govern the spending policy of the government, etc. So now we are focusing on what are the theories related with public expenditure. In economics, many economists have contributed to the theoretical literature regarding this, including Samuelson, Bowen, Prest, Pigou, etc. And under the branch of pure public expenditure theories, today in this class we are focusing on the topic Peacock-Wiseman hypothesis. So let me move on to the slides first. And this is a concept which comes under the topic, the theories of public expenditure. Peacock-Wiseman hypothesis was put forward by two major economists, that is Alan T. Peacock and Jack Wiseman, in way back in 1961, and they published this hypothesis or their thesis through their work entitled The Growth of Public Expenditure in the United Kingdom. And that work actually analyzed the empirical data, that is the public expenditure data of British government from the period 1890 to 1955. So what makes Peacock-Wiseman hypothesis different from the previous theory of Wagner's hypothesis is that Wagner was saying that public expenditure will over the years increase in a smooth and continuous manner, whereas Peacock-Wiseman hypothesis differ on this point, and they argue that public expenditure is definitely increasing over the years, but that increase is not in a continuous or very smooth manner. In spite, it will happen in jerks, like high jumps from one position to another, or in a step-like manner. So that is the difference from Wagner's hypothesis. The main argument of the authors was that public expenditure does not increase in a smooth and continuous manner. Rather, over time, public expenditure has occurred in jerks or steps-like manner, and usually this hike or jerks happen during times of economic or socio-economic disturbances. So, in order to explain this concept of this jerk-like increase of public expenditure, Wiseman and Peacock used three distinct concepts in their theory to explain further. And that three effects are displacement effect, inspection effect, and concentration effect. So that forms the three pillars of this particular hypothesis. And we can explain all those concepts in detail. At first, there occurs the displacement effect, which means a movement from an old level of public expenditure and taxation to a new and high level that usually occur during times of economic disturbances like war, or we can say the example of the current times like the impact of COVID pandemic. So during those times, the old level of public expenditure and taxation changes to a new and high level, and that shift is termed as displacement effect. The second effect is termed as inspection effect, which is more of a psychological aspect. That is the realization on the part of the taxpayer that his tax tolerance is actually increased, that he can now pay more tax and the state can generate more revenue out of it. So that impact or effect is known as inspection effect. Moving on to the third effect, which is termed as concentration effect, it refers to the apparent tendency of the central government to spend more, or central government economic activity growing more faster than the state or local self-government. And it is according to the British empirical data that Peacock and Wiseman analyzed, and it can depend upon the political setup of the economy. So here is the graphical illustration of the above explained thesis of Peacock and Wiseman. Here the x-axis, the 3 time periods, that is peace, war and post-war, was depicted, and on the other side, on the y-axis, public expenditure is measured. And from the graph it is evident that the older path was from A to D to E, the normal path of expenditure, which is a smooth and continuous manner. But during times of socio-economic disturbances, that is when the economy move from peace to wartime, there will be a hike, that is from point A to point B, and the new fiscal plateau will be the region BC. So after the war, post-war period, the position of the economy or public expenditure position will not come down to the original position, that is point D. Either it will come either to G, or it will move on to F. That is a middle. It can take a middle path of GH pattern, or the normal pattern, that is CF. So that is with regard to Peacock-Wiseman hypothesis. It's definitely a more convincing theory than Wagner's hypothesis. So that's all about today. Hope everyone got an idea about the public expenditure theory put forwarded by Peacock and Wiseman. Thank you.